Can't build a new standard on top of something that still holds the old charge.
You're talking like this was planned.
I'm talking like it's necessary.
Necessary for who?
For the city, for the future, for the new grid.
Grid? What grid?
The one you'll pay for. A sudden, deep metallic thud from below, like a huge breaker tripping under the street. Then a faint, familiar hum in the distance abruptly drops out.
Did you hear that? That sound? The background sound? It's gone.
Yes.
What did you do?
We flipped it.
Flipped what?
The season.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it will. When you're standing in line for coal, when you're paying for heat, when you stop expecting the walls to help you.
My wife is home. My children are.
Then buy a stove. Buy heavy coats. Because after tonight, the city will be remade, and the ones who survive will learn the new rule. Warmth is not a condition. Warmth is a commodity. The fire roars, then pulls slightly away, as if the wind changed direction. Human screams in the distance fade down. That line, the walls were made to last too long, is the real fear, isn't it? Because when a structure lasts, it carries memory. And when a memory is embedded in infrastructure, it threatens the new story.
And the new story needs you to believe something simple: that the world is hard, that comfort is expensive, that you earn heat, that you earn light, that nothing about your environment is supposed to help you unless you paid for it.
But the old districts still feel like they were built for a different expectation, not luxury, expectation. That human life isn't meant to be a constant fight with cold floors and dead air. That a city can be a shelter in more than the architectural sense.
And if that expectation survives in brick, it survives in design. It survives in the way a street holds warmth. Then the new system can't fully take root until the old one stops whispering. So you don't just install meters. You change the conditions people live under. You make the old material inert. You strip the rooftops. You label the crowns. You bury the interfaces. You upgrade the district. And when the building no longer behaves like a battery, you can finally sell the replacement like it's salvation.
And in the aftermath, something else always shows up. Not just reconstruction, a new kind of dependence. Coal wagons, fuel schedules, bills. A new rhythm that forces people to orbit the supplier.
So Act 3 is not just cities burned, it's cities were made forgetful. Because when you strip the warmth out of the walls, you don't just make people cold, you make them malleable. Cold people don't rebel. Cold people comply.
And once that's done, once the walls stop holding, once the rooftops are cleaned, once the ground is removed from the circuit, we zoom out. Because now the question becomes, if this happened house by house and block by block, what did it look like at the scale of nations?
Act 4 is the wide shot, the geometry, the repeating shapes on coastlines and river mouths, the places that look like they were built for war, but feel in the bones like they were built for something else first. And we're going there next.
So the next segment is called The Wide Shot, Nodes, Stone, and the Night the World Lit Up.
If Act 3 was the block and Act 4 is the continent, because when you zoom out far enough, the pattern stops looking like history and starts looking like infrastructure. Not random, not local, not improvised. Shared geometry, shared placement, shared obsession with water, stone, and symmetry.
And here's the thing. If you try to hide a system, you don't hide it by burying one building. You hide it by changing what people think they're looking at. You point at the same structure and say, It's a fort. Oh, it's a relic. It's a monument. It's a tourist stop. You give it a label so the brain stops asking questions.
So let's ask the one question the label don't answer. Why do the star forts repeat like a stamp? Why do they show up near river mouths, coastlines, marshes, canals, places where water moves, tides breath, and the ground stays wet? Why that geometry? Why those points? Why the endless obsessive symmetry carved into stone like a code?
Because a square wall is, well, easy. A circle wall is easier. But a star with angles, nested points, repeating teeth, that's not the shape you choose unless you want the environment to behave. Those points aren't just for shooting at people. Those points are for shaping flow, shaping vibration, shaping pressure, shaping the way sound and movement travel through matter.
And if you've ever stood near one, you know what I mean. There's a feeling, a quiet tension, like the place isn't dead, like it's sleeping.
So imagine this, a world where the ground participates, the rooftops interface, and the walls store. That is your neighborhood system. But no neighborhood system survives without a backbone, without high output nodes, without places that don't just collect, they stabilize, they distribute, they regulate. And that's where the star forts come in.
They're always described like they were built for one purpose: war. But war doesn't explain the global repetition. War doesn't explain why so many of these structures were built where it's miserable to fight swamps, lowland tide edges. War doesn't explain the obsession with water hugging stone.
Water is the secret language here because water is not just scenery. Water is movement. Water is conduction. Water is rhythm. Water carries vibration farther than air ever will. And if you wanted a node that could broadcast or stabilize something across a region, you'd put it where the earth is already moving.
So, how do you dismantle something like that? You don't walk in and announce it. You don't put up a sign, "We're turning this off." You call it war. You call it occupation. You call it defense. And then you go inside and you take what you came for. Sounds familiar.
Which brings us to a moment in the story that feels like a scene from a nightmare. Men in uniforms inside a stone wall that is warm without fire, prying out components they do not fully understand. While outside, people are still harvesting like the season will stay kind, and then the node goes quiet. Radio drama number 5 is called The Silence of Sevastopol. Heavy boots echo in a fast stone corridor. Wind moans through distant openings. A deep, high-pressure hum lives in the background, steady, unnatural.
Sir, we don't need lanterns down here. Look, I can see my hands. The walls, they're glowing.
Keep your voice down and keep moving.
It's warm, too. Warm's like a kitchen in January. But there's no stove, no coal, no smoke.
You're here to work, not wonder. Metal clinks, crowbar scrapes stone, and a distant drip of water.
They told us this was a fort, a defensive vault. But this doesn't feel like a fort. It feels like a machine room.
Watch your mouth.
Sir, my father used to talk about this place. He said the valley stayed soft longer. He said the harvest didn't die early. He said there was a background warmth, like the land held its breath through the cold.
And now it won't.
Why?
Because orders are orders, because the gentleman wants what's inside, because the ministry doesn't like anything it can't count, control, and collect.
What are we collecting?
Copper, plates, glass panels, anything sealed, anything that hums.
Sir, listen, the hum is louder near the arch.
That's the chamber. That's where the plates are stored. Boots stop. The hum deepens, pressing on the ears.
It feels like the air is thick, like it's alive.
Stop talking. Pry. A crowbar bites under metal. Loud crack as the steel breaks, a sudden sigh of air like the building exhaling.
Did you feel that? Like the room let go.
That's pressure releasing.
No, not pressure, like presence.
Get the plates out
They're heavy. Why are they warm?
because they've been working. Now move. Glass plates slide. Metal tools clatter. The hum begins to thin like a song fading.
Sir, the light in the stone is dimming.
Good.
The floor, it's cooling fast.
Keep packing.
If we take all of it, it will strip the chamber. What happens to the valley?
Well, the valley learns the new season.
And the people?
The people will be told it's natural. One final deep note of hum drops out like a heartbeat stopping.
It's quiet.
Yes, now we can fence it. Now we can label it. And now we can call it what we want.
A fort.
A fort. Crate lid slams. Distant wind rises, then fades.
That's the wide shot version of what we saw in Act 3. Not just a building losing its warmth, a whole region losing its baseline. Because if nodes regulate an environment and you silence the nodes, the world doesn't just change, the world becomes expensive.
And once the old backbone is quiet, something else happens. They don't just replace the system, they sell the replacement. They don't just build infrastructure, they build it, belief. They stage a moment so overwhelming, so dazzling, so incredibly unforgettable that the public associates the new power with awe and forgets the feeling of the old power entirely.
Enter the World's Fair. These weren't just exhibitions, they were ceremonies. They were theatrical switch flips. They were the moment the new system introduced itself like a king entering the room.
And the public didn't need to understand what they were seeing. They just needed to feel it, to stand under that light and think, oh, this is the future, even if the future came with a bill.
So before we continue, we're going to take a little break and we're going to play a song here for you. And this one I think is apropos. It's called Free Me. I wrote this a while back and it's also on my album Enslaved, but this is the remix.
Ramblings in my head, I know that I am sad. Voices in my head, I think I'm going mad. Make them go away before my head explodes. Do you hear them too, or is it just a joke? Free me from these chains.
Free me from this world before I go insane.
Oh, heal me with your love. Heal me with your touch. Help me calm the pain. Don't you run away. promise you the world. You will be so loved like never before. Give you all the gifts and things you love in life. Just hold on a bit and it will be alright. Free me
from these chains.
Free me from this world before I go insane. Oh, heal me with your love. Heal me with your touch. Make me whole again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is this beast inside that's scaring you, my girl? So he can't hurt no one. Yeah, yeah. He cannot be tamed unless he knows his love. Free me from these chains.
Free me from this world before I go insane.
Oh, heal me with your love. Heal me with your touch. Make me whole again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I bet you've all had some kind of trouble. Life has pushed you hard. Just when you thought you weren't gonna make it, God pulled you out. So many years behind these cold steel bars that made a mess of you. Not being loved or being well accepted has gotten the best of you. Free
me from these chains. Free me from this world before I go insane.
Oh, heal me with your love. Heal me with your touch. Make me whole
That's like a real psychotic type of song.
Yes. Lots of meaning in that.
A
song.
lot of meaning. When I wrote it back in the day, a lot of my trans brothers would communicate with me that they related with that song because of what we were going through and all that stuff. But yeah, interesting stuff there. But anyway, to continue, even if the future came with a bill, so we're going to take you there to a night where the crowd gathers, the band's tune, the banners snap in the wind, and the new grid turns on in front of everyone like a sunrise built by humans.
Radio drama number 6 is The Switch On. Fairground ambiance, thousands of footsteps on gravel, distant orchestra tuning, flags snapping hard in the wind, a building-sized generator hum just out of an earshot.
Nightfall, a crowd packed tight, you can lift your elbows. Faces turned forward towards white stone facades that look too clean to be real. A city that wasn't here yesterday, but stands tonight like it's always belonged. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the modern age. Tonight, you will witness not a dream, but progress.
The crowd murmurs swell, and a child laughs nervously. Papa, why are the buildings so big?
Because this is what the future looks like. Now hush.
Future, that's a funny word for something you have to buy. A heavy lever mechanism creaks as it's pulled into place.
Oh, my mark. 3, 2, 1.
A single loud click like a giant switch, then an immense rush of hum. Lights ignite in waves fast, overwhelming. Wow. It's daylight. It's daylight at night. Look at the water. Look at the shadows.
Remember this. Tell your children you saw it.
And tell them what it costs.
Enjoying the spectacle?
Hard not to. You can see it from inside your bones.
That's the point. It's important that public feels confidence, a strong system, a managed system, a system you can rely on.
Managed. Another funny word.
Tomorrow, you'll visit booth 47. That's where service is arranged. Standard rates, standard contracts, standard rules.
And if you don't sign,
Then you'll live in the dark.
you make it sound like a choice.
It is. Sign and you get light. Refuse and you keep your principles.
I used to keep more than principles.
Times changed.
No, people change them. The hum holds and a proud and steady, and a faint, distant, metallic snip, small, almost missed. Papa, what's that sound?
Nothing, just the future settling in.
Crowds swell again and the music rises. The fairground sound dissolves into wind and distant water again. That faint snip in the distance. That's how it happens. Now with speeches with tiny cuts. One connection here, one removal there, one upgrade, one standard, one safety improvement. And then one day you look up and realize the old world is gone and the new world has a payment schedule.
And that's why Act 4 matters. Because if you only look close, it feels like accidents. A roof repaired, a basement filled, a fire nobody could stop. But when you look wide, it looks coordinated. Nodes go quiet. Backbone dismantled. Then the new system rolls out. Loud, bright, undeniable.
And now comes the final move. Because once you take the power, once you take the warmth, once you install the replacement, you still have a problem. Memory. Human beings remember too much, even when they're afraid, even when they're hungry, even when they're cold.
So Act 5 is where the story turns towards the next generation, towards the ones who didn't live through the shift, towards the ones who will be taught what to call everything, what to see, what to ignore, what to repeat.
And that's where our next radio drama lives. The classroom, the ruler on the desk, the chalk squeaking across the board, and one child asking the wrong question out loud.
Because the most dangerous thing in a new system is not a broken pole. It's a kid who still remembers a different hum.
A school bell far away and a faint pencil scratch begins to creep in under the hum. Act 5 is the takeover of memory, the classroom, the orphans, and the quiet new world. The distant echo of a school bell, boots on packed snow, a wagon wheel squeaks, and the low hum returns, thinner now, like it's behind a wall. So far, we've followed the change through hardware, through ground, through rooftops, through brick, through nodes, through the night, the world lit up in front of a crowd. The real victory, the victory that lasts longer than any wire, is what happens next. Because you can steal a system, but you can't keep it stolen unless you change the story people tell about it.
And you don't start with adults. No. Adults compare before and after. Adults remember what warm rooms felt like. Adults remember the way the air used to feel alive. If you want the new world to feel normal, you start with children.
And you start with classrooms, with primers, with rules. You start with the idea that questions are dangerous and obedience, well, that's safety.
And you start with an environment that makes people tired because tired people don't investigate. Tired people don't climb roofs. Tired people don't argue with men in uniforms. Tired people just want to get through winter.
And once winter comes, it becomes the boss. Everything else becomes negotiable.
This is where the human story comes in. This is where the show stops being about buildings and becomes about families.
Because once that hum is gone, you don't just lose warmth. You lose the confidence that life is generous and that changes what you'll accept.
Picture a city that's been relabeled. Old stone is suddenly historic. Old roofs are suddenly decorative. Old hardware is suddenly ornament. And into that city, a new wave arrives. Kids with no old memory. Kids with no grandparents nearby to say, no, that's not what that used to be.
They arrive on trains in groups. A kid steps down on a platform clutching a coat that doesn't fit, a tag pinned to the collar, a name that might not even be theirs.
And they're placed, not always gently, sometimes kindly. Sure, a farm family, a spare bed, a full bowl, but even that kind version still do the same thing. They cut the child from the old world, they root the child into the new one.
And then comes the classroom, because the classroom is the factory that turns a child into a citizen of the new system, a system that says scarcity is natural, payment is normal, authority is protection, questions are trouble.
And the most dangerous sentence in that world is a kid saying, but my grandmother said, because even one remembered sentence can crack the whole spell.
So we're going into the classroom now. And this is where your missing drama belongs, right here, Act 5. Because this isn't about towers anymore. This is about training. Radio drama number 7, don't ask about the hum. Chalk squeaks and pencils scratch on slate. A radiator ticks, but it's cold. Wind taps a window, the sharp rag of a ruler on wood. Eyes forward, chins up, hands flat. Now repeat after me, class.
Eyes forward, chin up, hands flat.
Good. Now we will learn the truth. A truth you will carry like a lamp in the dark. The world was wild before order. The world was dangerous before regulation. The world was cold before modern power. Chalk writes in big strokes. Energy is scarce. Now, repeat, class.
Energy is scarce.
Again,
Energy is scarce.
louder.
Energy is scarce.
That's correct. Scarcity is natural. Comfort must be earned. Light must be purchased. Heat must be paid for because of that is how the world works.
Ma'am,
No questions during copying.
it's just my grandmother said the old courthouse used to glow. She said the air felt different, like you could feel it in your skin.
The room stills and one pencil stops. Someone swallows. Your grandmother is confused. Old women tell stories. Stories are not facts.
But she said it wasn't a story. She said the garden stayed warm when it shouldn't have. She said they didn't need coal wagons back then.
Coal wagons are civilization. Coal wagons are progress. Coal wagons are proof that we are no longer animals living in mud and darkness. Now stop.
But why would she lie?
Because memory lies. Because nostalgia lies. Because the past is a swamp. And if you step into it, you drown. The ruler taps the desk. Slow, threatening. look at your primer. What letter is this?
C.
And C is for
Coal.